Hi, this is Greg Ryan from Greg Ryan Fitness Coaching. Today I want to chat with the chiropractors on a piece of technology that a buddy of mine, Dr. Riley, put in his practice a few years ago to test the antioxidants and free radicals in his patients, and how this piece of technology is kind of revolutionizing the chiropractic world. First of all, let me introduce myself. If you have not listened to any of my tapes, I have been in the fitness business for 35 years. I am going on my 48th published book, 6 bestsellers in nutrition and exercise and fitness, wealth building, disease prevention, and so forth. So, I kind of been around the block a little bit. I've seen just about everything in the fitness world you can, and I'm really into the prevention of disease versus the other side of medicine of the fix-it type. And so, about 3 years ago, a Fortune 500 company by the name of Pharmanex out of Provo, Utah, put a piece of technology called the biophotonic scanner across my desk, and I thought it was a very fascinating piece of technology called Raman spectropathy that would test the carotenoids in the back of your eye for macular degeneration. And Pharmanex converted it into a light ray that would go into your skin cell non-abrasively within a 30-second period and test the free radicals and oxidative stress of your body. And so the company started placing these scanners in doctors' offices around the world, and chiropractors were a very open medical practice type that really took a hold of this piece of technology. And over the last 15 years, it has evolved. Of course, with every technology, it gets a little smaller. And so now it's about 2 pounds. It sits on your desk. And so what I'd like to do today is I'd like to share with you, just a story of how my friend Dr. Riley incorporated this piece of technology into his practice, why he did it, what income streams he created with it, and where he is with it now. I don't use any notes. I'm pretty transparent, so I might repeat myself a little bit here, but what you see is what you get, and all the stuff that I am sharing with you, it is public knowledge. It's a publicly traded company, but if you are a chiropractor, if you know a little bit about nutrition, if you are proactive, I would really encourage you to take a look at this biophotonic scanner to educate your patients about oxidative stress and antioxidants and disease prevention, but also to create income streams that will allow you to enjoy practicing your medicine that much more. Because, let's face it. I'm not a chiropractor, but I have a lot of chiropractor friends, and it's tough out there, and it's competitive. You're looking for extra income streams. The new healthcare law has come down, which changes some offices and practices. And liability insurance is sky high. You have to see a lot more patients. And a lot of chiropractors are just kind of opting out. They're tired of doing what they're doing. And so, my goal is to introduce you to this piece of technology, to share with you what Dr. Riley, a chiropractor friend of mine, is doing. And, it has freed him up to do some other things. And, maybe you take a look at this and see how you could incorporate it into your practice as you see fit. About 2 years ago, Dr. Riley and I talked about this biophotonic scanner, and I introduced it to him, and he looked at it and scrutinized the company and looked at some of the other partnerships that were involved with other doctors, and he decided that he would incorporate this into his practice in different ways. So, one of the first ways he did was he decided that if he was going to be taking the holistic approach, then he would, in most cases, require that every patient of his that comes in, initially he would scan them, which takes 30 seconds, or have his front desk scan them and get a scan score of somewhere between 0 and 100,000 are the numbers. And what that scan score does, it sends a blue light ray into your skin cell, and within 30 seconds will create a number that will tell you your risk factors for disease, and really basically how thick your immune system is on a cellular level. So that's kind of what it does. So he started requiring all of his patients to get scanned. So I don't know about your practice. I don't know how many people that you see a day or per hour, but he was seeing at least five people, maybe 3 to 5 people an hour, and he would have them scanned. So, and the scan score or scan fee was $20 per scan, and he would give $5 of that scan to his receptionist as an incentive, which also helped. And, so he created, just off of that alone, from a $20 per hand, created, a $30,000 to $50,000 actual income increase to his practice, which was, I don't know what $50,000 extra would do for your practice, but Dr. Riley, one of the things he said to me, he goes, I didn't have to hire a staff member. I didn't have to hire, have a liability insurance. I didn't have to, have the normal overhead that I would usually have. And so, that was basically, profit, 95% profit. So that was really kind of cool for him, and it was portable, and he could take it out anywhere he wanted to go, or one of his staff members for that matter. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, there was an actual income of $20 a scan. So he added about $30,000 to $50,000 to his bottom line the first year. And that was quite a bit. And then what he tried to do, or not tried to do, he did do, was he started creating nutritional programs off of that scan score. And what happened was the patient would ask 2 questions once they got scanned, is what does that scan score mean? And what do I need to do to improve that scan score? So, there was a couple different options that he had in the company that developed, or Pharmanex that developed the scanner had. But one option was that if somebody said, well, what does that scan score mean? And, then they educated them on, oxidative stress, immune system, things of that nature. So, and then he said, well, what do I need to do to get it up? Well, you have to eat more green vegetables or a nutrition program. And so that's what he did, is he started merging with nutritionists and different things. And so he created another stream of income of new services in his facility, where he referred people out to nutritionists for $300 or $400, a program. And he did that. So he thought that was kind of nice from the networking standpoint, as well. So he had actual income off the scan fees, and then he had like services, extra services. The other thing he did, which I thought was really creative, is he leased the scanner out to other chiropractors for a couple $100 a day, and they could, charge whatever they want with it. So there was another, income stream there. And also, he took it to health fairs. And, that's one thing I told him to do as a fitness trainer. I would take that scanner to health clubs or health fairs, and health clubs too, but to health fairs, and I could advertise my business, and I could scan people all day long for $10 a pop. The scan cost $1, and everything else of that is profit. So, he made $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000 a year at health clubs and health fairs of that nature, which was, also advertisement and stuff like that. So, there he had 3 extra pieces of income with no overhead or no liability or, no inventory, things of that nature. And then the other thing that chiropractors are doing now is they're opting into getting involved in some type of direct sales business, and direct sales, depending on the company, it can be very lucrative because you have no overhead, you don't have any inventory in most cases. And so the company that, Pharmanex also created what they call a nutraceutical that is kind of a plant-based micronutrient supplement with a technology called nanotechnology that they could measure. So there was a combination of, scanning and measuring your food's absorption and things of that nature. And so what Dr. Riley decided to do, not only with actual scan scores, fees, extra service fees, leasing the scanner out fees, he decided, first of all, let me say he did some research. And I think you will find this in your practice as well, is that 75% or more of your patients are already taking a supplement. And Dr. Riley, in his office, 80% of the people were scanning below 50,000, which is not very good. So the translation of that scan score means that their supplements that they're taking were not being absorbed, because it all had to do with the scan score. If their supplements were being absorbed, then their immune system would be stronger, which it wasn't. And so a lot of chiropractors and a lot of doctors don't want to do any retail sales, or especially direct sales, because they don't want to upsell their patients. But in reality, your patients are already taking a supplement. So, and if it's not working, then, why not scan them and test it, and then offer them or redirect the monies into another product that you can test. And so Dr. Riley started, the kind of the goal is at least 10% of your patients on this nutraceutical direct sales supplement. Dr. Riley started getting 20-25% of his patients that he scanned were scanning in the 20,000 range. So he would put them on this nutraceutical, which was direct sales, so he had no inventory, and he got paid $300 a year of commission per patient. So, let's do some math here. If an average chiropractor has 3,000 patients in his file cabinet, and you put 10% of those patients on a nutraceutical a year, that's 300, if my math is correct. And then if you get paid $300 per patient a year, that is $90,000. Yeah, $90,000. $90,000 that the company would put in your pocket with no inventory, no liability. It's directly shipped from the company. Their scan scores are already low. They're already taking the supplement. You are measuring the absorption rate of their foods, and you're educating them on their true source of health, which is their immune system, and what the importance of antioxidants are. Now, not to be frank, doctor, but what's wrong with any of that? You're educating your patients. You're different than the other chiropractor down the street. 80% of your patients are already taking a supplement. You're measuring their food. You're telling them the truth about what they're eating. And $90,000 plus another $30,000 of scan scores. So Dr. Riley increased his profit without adding a staff member, $90,000, $30,000, $120,000. What would that do to your practice by adding $120,000? There's 81 clinicals on the technology. It's a publicly traded company. You can find it on Dr. Oz or Google any portion of it on YouTube. So the technology is validated. You're not going to get embarrassed. They're already taking 80% of your patients are already taking this nutraceutical, so you're just redirecting that, and you can measure it. And you have a direct sales business with no inventory overhead. So, as Doc and I were talking, it's like, all right, I'm the business guy, I'm the fitness guy. So you got a new piece of technology that differentiates yourself from the chiropractor down the street. So that's marketing. It's free marketing. When you scan your patients, they're going to go out and talk to somebody else, so they're going to bring new patients in for you. As a health practitioner, you are dealing with their true health and not just telling them, a bunch of baloney. So that should make you feel good. You're increasing your ways of income streams. So, you get sick. Dr. Riley was sick for 2 months last year. He had an infection. But he still got paid because the people that he put on the nutraceutical continued to order the product, and he still got paid. So he didn't have to worry about his bills. Most of you that are listening to this would be closing your doors if you got sick for 2 months. So, I'm encouraging you to at least take a look at this technology. If you got this spreadsheet in front of you, they average 5. Let's just say we take 5 scans a day. Okay, you're 5 days a week. Do your math on your scanning fees, and then half of those people go on a nutraceutical. So by our math, 5 scans a day, 5 days a week, half of them go in the nutraceutical, and even half of them quit that. You got $150,000 right there. I mean, do the math. And so, for Dr. Riley, it just changed his whole perspective of his practice. He was innovative. He was being proactive. He was educating his staff, his patients on a true health measuring tool. People thought he was cool because he was different. And then he created a passive income, which we all want. Because I don't know how old you are. I'm 50 years old. And my runway's running out. And so from a fitness trainer standpoint, I had to do something. Because that plane was not going to, go along that runway. Was just not going to be long enough. It was just running out, and I was getting sick more often. I was, getting tired more often. My body was failing, and I wanted to be with my family. I wanted to enjoy life a little bit more. I didn't want to be a slave, to my profession. And if you want to be a slave to the chiropractic world, then okay. But I mean, let's just be real. I mean, something's got to give. And this piece of technology allowed Dr. Riley to be able to do some other things with this family. So I don't know. I just really encourage you to take a look at this thing called a biophotonic scanner, and see how it would possibly incorporate that into your practice. Because as I close here, let me ask you a couple questions. Why not? What does it hurt? We have 1,000 scanners in the United States now and more coming. They're in 54 different countries. 5 years from now, 10 chiropractors within a couple mile radius of you are going to have a scanner, and you're going to get left behind. So, why not? What's it to lose? It's the technology costs $209 a month lease payment, and it's non-binding lease. Scan scores, scan fees are $20. You got $300 per patient. Do your math. Just write it out on a napkin. And then the other question is, what if? What if this thing does work? I mean, we've done it before, so we know it does. So this only has to do with your belief system. And, the reality is 5 years from now, if you don't change, nothing's going to change. You're going to be in the same position that you're in today. You're not seeing your family. You're tired. You got to put more people through your practice. You got to pay more money in advertisement to get more people. You got to do more health fairs on Saturdays and Sundays and miss your family. I mean, something's got to give. And so if you could add $50,000 or $100,000 to your profit center, what would that do? If you want any more information on this, you can email me at gregryanfitness@yahoo.com, or you can, contact me on Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever you want to. But I really do encourage you, if you're a chiropractor, to check this out, incorporate it into your practice, create a couple, 4 or 5 different income streams, leverage your time. Dr. Riley's happy. I'm happy from the fitness standpoint. So this is Greg Ryan saying, have a good day.